Its real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pregame previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Moritzi, and many more. To find out where you can watch Sports Grid, go to sportsgrid.com/watch. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Go live, and there's a 5-second.
It's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa and Corey Sandin in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma. And boy, do we have a great guest for you today. Valerie Hoperich from Queen Charlotte Safaris in beautiful British Columbia is here to talk about her fantastic resort and all that she offers. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on 1090 AM, Sports Grid Radio Network, the Let's Talk Hookup app, and YouTube and Facebook Live, and all the rest. Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern. We are pulling out all the stops on this one. Over 20 manufacturers reps like Shimano and Power Pro. Check out all the Shimano and Power Pro product we have, like the all-new Talica A Series reel. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and a Shimano Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skill. You'll see Shimano Terramar is the perfect rod to handle tough fish. The secret is TC4 blank construction. Match your Shimano Terramar rod with the Shimano Tranks 500 reel. Shimano's X-Ship and HEG technologies in the Shimano Tranks combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. It's our biggest sale of the year, Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 2nd.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers now and make it your best summer yet. Amazing offers and great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series, featuring gas, hybrid, or all-electric. These are deals you've been waiting for. So don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, one of our favorite days. Getting to have Valerie in here today. Going to be a lot of fun. Lots of great info. There's great fishing going on. Talking QSC. Today's just going to be an awesome day.
Yeah, fun. And Corey, because he's a big Valerie fan, is here too. So we have triple hosts. You're triple teamed today, Valerie, right?
Well, I am honored.
Yeah, well, we had to get the whole team in here to honor your beautiful place. Now, what is the story? I have this mug that says Haida Gwaii Safaris. What's that all about?
Well, I was going to leave that to the end.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then that's fine.
Okay.
All right, we'll just show the mug.
I have
then.
a little, I have a little story about their transition.
Okay,
cool.
Well, get real cozy to that mic.
Okay,
And,
cozier.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. There you go. So why don't you tell us about Queen Charlotte Safaris then?
Well, where do I start?
Where do you start? How long you been doing this thing?
Well, actually, I was going to bring that up today. I very blessed. Next year will be 25 years up in
Incredible.
Haida Gwaii,
Wow.
and it will be 20 years as an owner. Yay!
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's
It's a
not easy
milestone.
owning a lodge.
No,
No.
No.
It's a lot of work.
it's a passion of love,
Yes.
a labor of love,
A labor of love.
all in one.
Yeah.
Yes, and very blessed. And so many people are like, "Where are you?" And are you in Alaska? And I'm like, no. To make it simple, if you go to a Google map and you get to Vancouver, BC, we are about 500 nautical miles northwest. So we're south of Alaska, north of Vancouver, BC, and we're not part of Vancouver Island. We're above Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
And we're like the west of the west. Other than the illusions coming around, we are the West Coast. And you are fishing, as you know, Corey, and as you know, Pete, right parallel with the continental shelf, which is cool.
Like literally, the continental shelf is
Yes.
a mile or two outside of the island.
Yes,
Like it's
on the
so-
West Coast.
so you've
Yes.
got the biomass, the bait, the herring,
We were
the
just talking about
whales.
this. Yes.
Everything comes
Yes.
right up against the island.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and part of what I want to talk about Queen Charlotte safaris at the end with the Haida Gwaii safaris, we'll bring it all together.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's a native community.
It is First Nations Haida.
Yeah.
And well, I guess I could say it now. It's
Pete's pulling it out of you.
I know he's pulling it out already. I'm like, I was going to do it at the end. I had it all planned, but you know what? It's your show, so I will. do
You're
it.
welcome to hold deuce. Say it anytime,
No.
but we all know
No,
it's
now
becoming.
that-
We all know it's going to become a Haida Gwaii safari.
Well,
so
okay, so it
the
makes
secret,
sense.
the cat's out of the bag.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick history.
Yes.
Quick history lesson. So back in the 1700s, when the boats, is that better?
Yes.
When the boats from Europe, right, Spain, Europe, coming into the islands, and they started trading with the First Nations people, furs, all kinds of things. And then the explorer said, well, this is going to be called Queen Charlotte Islands, because it wasn't on the map
Right.
at that point. But the indigenous people, the First Nations Haida, were there. And Queen Charlotte is named after a boat, and the boat was named after Queen Charlotte,
Wow.
who never ever went to Queen Charlotte or Haida Gwaii
Yeah.
ever in her life.
But she was a reigning queen. In
Yeah,
England,
she's
right?
reigning. Yeah. So moving forward in history, especially, so for me, like 25 years up there, starting next year, it means Haida Gwaii means islands of the people, and in 2010, the indigenous name went back to Haida Gwaii. And when you think about it, we've always used Haida Gwaii, and Queen Charlotte has nothing to do with these islands, zero. And it is very appropriate to go back to the indigenous name out of respect, of course. And it's what it is. It's the Haida Gwaii Islands, and we're archipelago over 100 islands, 3 islands with people. And I think it just brings unity, right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to see the word Queen Charlotte on probably anything other than old documents and old history
Yeah.
and things like that. And in my opinion, it just fits, and it means islands of the people. What?
Oh, that's
So
rad.
no need I say more?
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Which is perfect.
It is. So it's a transition. We
Yeah.
actually started working on it a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
Got all the URL, we got all the stuff, and I've got the name, and it's just going to be a work in progress. But far as going forward, you could see all our merch said Haida Gwaii
Haida
safaris.
Gwaii.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And I hope in the future that we can bring Quiwa, who did this beautiful. This is a true hand-drawn.
Show it to the camera.
Camera.
Yeah.
True
Yeah.
hand-drawn Haida salmon,
Wow.
That's
Chinook
cool.
salmon.
Well, their art if you
Oh, it's
and you
beautiful.
have a chance to go visit, and I'm not sure you've had a chance to go visit the Totem Museum over
Mhm.
on the other
Heritage
island.
Center.
I did.
Oh, you
yeah.
did?
Yeah, you
yeah,
did
we
go
went
over there.
It
That's right.
is.
You did.
It's so amazing.
Stunning.
Yeah,
The,
beautiful.
The art is like just very special.
But it's a huge museum.
It's huge.
It's not
Yeah.
just a room
in the middle of a temperate rainforest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. it's
Incredible
beautiful.
history.
It's
Mhm.
super cool.
So
Yeah.
I-
and the natural beauty of Haida Gwaii, the islands, is there's
Stunning.
nothing like it. I've
Mhm.
never seen anything like
No,
it. And do you think that's because the continental shelf is like right there and it just has so much rugged terrain
rugged
because
terrain, but then you have the temperate rainforest. We have some of the largest cedar trees in North America.
of that? Wow.
Yeah, if you take a different tour on the other side, and you can take this tour it's about an hour walk in, you would just be blown away. So, and
The size of the
also
trees.
Moresby Island, that's the island we're on. That's where you landed. A good portion of that island is a World Heritage Center.
Uh-huh.
It's a UNESCO.
Yeah. So
Moresby
Moresby Island is the island that Sandspit is on.
Yes.
And where
and where you land
Queen Charlotte Safaris is.
is where
And then
we
the
are.
island to the north is called
Graham.
Graham Island. Okay.
Mhm. And then
Well-
there's a whole bunch of little islands in between.
Yeah. Look who's
Lots.
on the line. Captain Rob is on the line. Good morning,
I
Rob.
know.
Hey, Rob.
Good morning, Rob.
How you guys doing?
Hey,
Morning.
doing
Good
great.
morning, Rob.
Yeah. Now you're a true Canadian, right?
I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
born and raised
Yeah. And
West Coast.
yeah, west coast of Canada, right? And so how did you end up getting involved in sport fishing first of all, and then hook up with Valerie and start being a captain at Queen Charlotte Safaris?
I've been on the water all my life since I was like before I can remember. Just with my father and whatnot down in on the south coast, and in 2022,
2021 when we put ads out.
met one of the
Yeah.
ex operations manager, and sort of just went from there, and made my first season up there, and then sort of just hanging out, doing my thing there. It's kind of a good place to work, I think.
It became part of the family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Corey, you got to fish with Rob, right?
Yeah, super knowledgeable and cool, and kind of leads the pack with with all the captains there.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a beautiful time.
So in your eyes, why is the fishing so special there compared to other spots?
Oh, it's just, I mean, you've got constant runs of the Chinook or king salmon all season, right? There's no downtime at all. There's no actual season where there isn't any. And then, you just got that abundance of bait fish and everything coming in there all season long. It's just a place to be. I mean, you can't really ask for anything more. You kind of get used to it after being there for a little while, but then again, you go anywhere else and it's just like, it's just not like a Haida Gwaii West Coast. That's for sure. It's definitely a special place to be able to fish. That's for sure.
Now, is the rumor true that in the last part of the season, you guys went and caught albacore?
That could be true.
That's
Yeah,
so
the
cool.
albacore really showed up there pretty early
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
They showed up like late August, and actually mid-August they showed up. They were really close actually, and all the way to the end of the season. And went out there for a couple of times and got her done. Had quite a little show of fish.
And how close is close?
Well, at one point they were about 1 mile offshore.
Oh, no way.
The 2 days, the 2 days that we went out, I think they were somewhere between 7 and the other was like 15.
Oh
like
my,
that,
my!
offshore.
Wow,
Wow.
wow! And then when you're there, when you drop into the continental shelf, how deep is that water out there?
You're well over 1,000, 2,000
1,000.
feet, I think.
And that's like within a mile or two of the coast, right?
Yeah, it's really close.
It's amazing. And that's why the abundance. Yeah.
Mhm.
So so Valerie, the one of the other unique things about that area is the run of king salmon or Chinook, or as they call them in Canada, springs.
Springs.
Yeah. It's pretty much the whole season, right?
All season. I mean,
Yeah.
they're year round, but as far as the run, May, the end of April, May, and we fished up till September 6th, and guests got their limits of Chinook and
Yeah.
coho, both,
And coho too.
and some albacore.
And that's because they're not there to run back up a river. They're there because of the prolific food. They're there getting ready, getting healthy. That's just like the amazing food source
Feeding.
happens to be right in front of where you're at. And so that fish isn't staging up and it's here one day and it's gone the next. It's just always filtering in because that's the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's unique. I mean, Rob could probably help me a little better on this, but these fish or salmon, they're from everywhere. They're not just from like a particular area. We get different runs from different watersheds from United States to BC, all the way up and down Washington, Oregon, like all different
So
fish.
it's not the same run. It's like they're converging and feeding.
Yes.
So that's why it's multiple.
Yes. And Rob and I were just talking about quality. I mean, every year's quality, but we had some pretty happy anglers that not just the quality, but
the amount
size.
of fat that were in the fish this season was just, it was unbelievable. I couldn't it almost looked like it was farmed fish, like it was so fatty. I mean, the fat is a lot different. It's a lot healthier, the wild fish, than a farm fish, obviously. But it was just incredible how much there was in there. Like I smoked some one time and I forgot the smoker and left it on for 24 hours. And the fish was still fatty and greasy. It wasn't dried out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
I got to have some. It's delicious.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah. So that's just because there's such an abundance of food for them to just gorge.
It's all about the bait, the location.
And then, of course, it's not just about salmon. The lingcod fishing, Corey.
Hello.
Yeah, Corey,
It's
Corey's
literally what
Mr. Lingcod,
I was
right?
so excited that Corey was coming just to hear Lingcod stories.
Yeah.
You know, it's anybody that knows me knows I love fishing. I could fish crappie. I can fish largemouth bass, calicos, halibut. I have the time of my life, right? But I've never been a big lingcod fisherman. But the harvest and the fishing forum up there in BC was the time of my life. Honest, you go for the golden guppy of the Chinook, and you come home with the lingcod, and it is so darn good eating. It's a true fatty cod, and I mean, if you catch a 10 or 12 pounder, you feel so compelled to let it go because there's so many 20 to 25 pounders in the mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cool.
I mean, we had one like 30, 35 pounds. So I'm like, Rob, should we just like let this go? I mean, I'm happy with a 20. No, get it on the boat. I'll let you know if you need to let it go.
That's so cool.
And I'll say this too. Same thing about the salmon. Is the lingcod is super fatty and the flavor
incredible.
The flavor is night and day from the stuff we catch down here. I mean, night and day.
Pete, you and I, Rick, we can consider ourselves fish snobs, right?
Yes.
I mean, we
you too, Valerie.
Yeah, that's true. Probably Rob
Yeah.
too. That lingcod. Okay, I've eaten lingcod from Southern California, and it's good and it's delicious. It's two different fish. Trust me,
it's a different
completely
flavor.
different.
Because of the fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah, and then the rockfish and the halibut are the same thing because they're just super flavorful, right, Rob?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely a little level above anything else you can get anywhere, I find.
Yeah, and that I see. I learned something today. I didn't realize because I didn't listen to the speech that Valerie gives every group that the continental shelf's like right there, and it makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
Yeah,
it is.
You get so much upwelling, you get so much nutrients, you get so much bait. And that's makes it prolific.
Man, the size of the reds and the size of some of the rockfish, like and you know, we're not there for the salmon grouper, right? But I don't think in my life I've ever seen a 15 to 17 pound salmon grouper.
Yeah,
just
Boccaccio.
Huge, and we're able to drop them back down on the downrigger.
Oh, you did it on the
and it works out great. And the size of I pray that BC will allow at least one yellow eye.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
Everyone's.
Any prospects on that, Rob?
Yeah, well, they said last year that they were hoping to get one, and they said this year looks pretty hopeful. So
okay,
we'll keep our fingers crossed, and we'll just wait for them to do their thing. But yeah, it's kind of kind of a sad thing that we can't keep those. There's just so many of them. It's crazy. And they've got the whole coast shut down, not just the one area, right? So it's kind of tough to swallow, but we got to swallow the rules while they're there.
So Canada makes their own regulations totally different than Alaska or Washington or Oregon, right?
Yeah, definitely. The Department of Fisheries and Oceans controls everything that gets done out there. So we'll see what happens next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's pray for it. It would be nice.
It makes a lot of sense too, since you catch hundreds of them.
Right.
And we're able to send them back down so they live.
Yeah.
But we had a couple of them that were 20-pound plus.
Yeah.
Huge, like
Big
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. We just kind of scratched the surface of
Not
Queen
even.
Charlotte
Yeah.
safaris
Yeah,
here. We
yeah.
haven't even talked about the food, the lodging, the experience of getting there, and Valerie's incredible hospitality. It's a lot of great stuff to talk about.
It's going to be a very busy show. The texts are already pouring through, and it's going to be difficult to find texts because 90% of them are the same thing. Oh, I went there. It was the most amazing trip I've ever had. I loved it. I can't wait to get back. Today is just going to be a very fun show talking about an amazing place. And so cool to have Valerie and Rob on the line and Corey. It's just going to be a really fun show. And we want to have you join us this morning. Man, if you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup, give us a call at 213-432-1090. One more time, 213-432-1090 is how you reach us on the phone, or send us a text. Man, the text the show option so popular and so much fun nowadays on Let's Talk Hookup. And the only way you can access the text is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download. Doesn't matter if you have an Android, an iPhone, however you can get it. The Let's Talk Hookup app is not only the only way to send your text in, but you can listen to all the archive shows. You can call the show via the app. You can get more information about the show. Let's Talk Hookup app is also the easiest way to keep in touch with all things that's going on with the show. And again, it's how you send in your text to Valerie. Make sure that you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number is all we need, because if you win the big prize at the end of the show, we want to make sure to get it to you. And boy, in honor of having Valerie and Robin here, what a great prize we are giving away to one lucky caller or texter at the end of today's show. And that's a gift certificate for $300 to CostaSunglasses.com. You're going to get a brand new pair of glasses. You can get clothing. You can get whatever you want. $300 coming your way. And boy, there are some really, really cool new shades that have come out. That new gold lens really started to take traction.
Nice.
Very, very popular. I'm still
Lots of great styles.
I'm still a Silver Mirror Spiro XL, but man, Costa has so many great options now with their mirrored lenses, tinted lenses,
Absolutely.
a lot of stuff for low light conditions, highlight. It's just awesome. So yeah, someone's going to get a brand new pair of shades with $300 coming their way. Again, if you want to get through, 213-432-1090, or send us those texts on that Let's Talk Hookup app. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, reading those texts, and a whole lot more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from, and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Get ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We'll have great savings from Daiwa on Saltus, Saltiga, and the entire electric reel lineup. A fantastic offer on the Proteus rod and SK jigs too. Over 20 manufacturers reps, including Daiwa. Plenty of seminars, saltwater experts, huge raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Up to 60% off. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, man. What a great show. This is going to be
fun.
The first little bit, doesn't it just transport you to be in there?
Yeah.
And you can just feel that good salmon fishing and feel that good lingcod fishing. And what a really special place. And yeah, today's going to be a great show. Clearly going to be very busy. You can see the phone lines are already packed up. Again, if you want to get through, your shot is at 213-432-1090, or just keep those texts rolling through on the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, one line open, 213-432-1090. You have a chance to win a $300 gift card to gift certificate to Costa Sunglasses. You can get clothing, you can get glasses, you can get pretty much anything that Costa offers. And I might mention too, Tackle Day coming up November 2nd, which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 weeks away, or is it 4 weeks away? 4 weeks away. 4 weeks away. Costa's going to have a big presence there.
Yeah,
And
we have a huge display of Costa. They called it a build out, and so there's, I think we have like 300 pairs of Costa we carry. But yeah, they're going to be at the Tackle Day.
Yep.
Bob
Hoos will be there.
Yeah, both, and probably Kyle and all the representatives come. What's really fun on a day like that is you have people who are trained in that. When you're trying to decide on a new pair of shades, they can both help you like into the style of frame that you want based on, because Costa offers a lot of different frame sizes for different style, head and fit and that, but also experts on lens choices. This is the type of fishing that I do. This is where I go most often. Hey, you should probably do something with a little bit of color contour. You should do something that's really bright. We want to do something that's really dark, whatever it might be. It's just really cool to have the experts there. And it's about the only time of the year we can get a little something very special to buy a pair of Costas.
Yeah, like really good deal.
Yeah,
very good deal. And we should say hi to Wyatt in Dallas, right? Hi. Watching on YouTube and Facebook Live. He's hooked now. Huh?
So Dal's routine with the boys, Wyatt and Waylon, is they stream the YouTube feed, but then put it on the big TV in the living room and hang out and Wyatt's watching right now. So
watching his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Cool. That is cool. Well, hey, phones are packed. Let's jump into it.
Man, you're not kidding about packed. They were packed before we read the phone number down near every single line. And we're going to start it off this morning with John. He's calling us from Escondido. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And, you just can't say enough about Valerie's setup up there. But you got to say a lot about Valerie, my wife Cindy and I. And Cindy's not a great, a prolific fisherman. She fishes a little bit. But, Valerie sits down and she matches people up. Right. And so we got matched up with Ted and Sandy.
Ted and Sandy Ekman.
Yes.
And right. But the cool thing is with your group, Pete, is, and it was unfortunate we didn't get to fish with this year, but you get to put names to people that call into the show and stuff, right? And sit down and talk about fishing stories and this and that every night. But my wife had such a fantastic time that we signed up right there for next year.
Fantastic.
With your group.
Yeah, and you know, that's a good point, John. It's like it is such a couple-friendly lodge, more than any other lodge I've ever been to. It's such a couple-friendly lodge. Why do you think that is, Valerie? Because of you?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I have all the trade show, whether it's a trade show, over the phone conversation, excuse me, I can see, like, I just ask some questions and I can see that the gentleman's like, oh, I love for my wife to come. Is it like lady friendly? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it really is. And I this probably like the last 5 years, maybe a little more, our couples, I think we're up to about 35%.
Wow.
Incredible.
That's huge for a fishing lodge.
Yeah,
That's huge.
women love
I don't
to
think anybody
fish.
could rival
And
that.
what a neat way
Yeah.
to bond, like together as a couple.
Yeah.
And also together, I try to put couples with couples. Doesn't always happen, but when it, for the most part.
Well, you take, that's the thing.
And-
You take everything to heart. It's like, I want to make sure that these people are going to have fun, so I'm going to put them with them and stuff. It's like,
To a
it's
fault.
not just,
I mean,
yeah.
it's awesome.
It's like,
It's
yeah.
like putting a puzzle together
Yeah.
and sort of, but I just, it's
And the lodge is only
important.
24 people.
24 people,
Yeah.
but it's important because that is part of the experience. And so John and Cindy were amazing. And the Heckmans, which you,
We've been everywhere.
They fished
Sandy and
together,
Ted,
and
yeah.
I think they were on Rob's boat. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rob, were
Yep,
they fishing?
I
with you?
remember.
Yeah.
And Rob, why do you think? I mean, part of the reason it's friendly to couples is because of the calm waters, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've always got somewhere to hide usually. I mean, we've only never really, there was one day last season and one day in the last like 7 years that we had to call it quits. But other than that, it's always like very, very, very calm water. You know, and just the touch that Valerie puts on the lodge too is a little bit something that's a little bit different than other places. It's more of it's got that women's touch to it, and it makes it a really more comfortable place for females to come and feel comfortable out there.
Yeah.
And didn't you guys pick the boats very specifically? I mean, you'd had the lodge, like you said, for 25 years, and you've got so much time doing that when you redesigned your fleet, I mean, you knew all the ins and outs, and boats are very comfortable and spacious and things, things of that nature.
Okay, I do have a funny story about that.
Okay.
So,
Does this involve Rob?
No,
It doesn't. Okay.
No, he'll support me on this one. So when I got the plans back, they didn't have a heater and they had a porta potty. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. So they came back with plans, which now they have heaters and they actually have a flush and marine toilet.
Yes.
Which is way better.
Yeah.
Sure.
And with a door.
With the door.
Yeah.
Which is better.
With privacy.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't have to scoot everybody out and stuff. And that makes it more couple friendly.
Big deal. Totally.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
sure.
John and Cindy went over and beyond. How do I say? They sent in the most amazing review on our Google page, and
cool.
I owe you some apparel that will be coming your way. And from my heart and my team's heart, they were amazing. And hats off to Captain Rob, because they talk a lot about him in the review. And thank you.
Those
all
reviews
of us.
are important to you,
They
right?
are
So if you have a good
very
time
important.
at Queen Charlotte Safari,
And even if it's something negative, boy, I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know so we can make it right.
Yeah. Well, I have a great text, and it's from Tom, who's calling us from the Bay Area. And Tom writes, how does someone get to the lodge? Where do you fly into?
Okay, well, pretty
good
simple.
question, Tom.
It is a good question. So I don't know if you're closer to Sacramento or
It's a 707, so that'd be like somewhere in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
there.
Bay Area.
Yeah.
Okay, so San Francisco, direct to Vancouver into Sandspit. And this is something that I have to, every year you analyze your numbers and you analyze your package and what you offer. And we go above and beyond to ensure that your travel goes smooth, because that travel part can make or break a trip, really.
Right.
And I can't control all the aircraft or the airports,
No.
but
Or Air Canada.
or United. I don't care what
Doesn't matter
airline
what
it is.
Alaska, whatever.
But what we can ensure is that your flight times are the way they're supposed to be, so that you can connect properly. Or if you overnight at the Vancouver airport, we get this great rate at the Fairmont. Amazing rate and amazing
beautiful hotel
place,
right in the airport.
So convenient. And my team, the ladies on the U.S. side probably don't get enough credit, because they are constantly looking at the pre-trips, ensuring airline tickets are issued properly. We check dates. We check lots of work into it, because we want it to be perfect.
So the short answer, Tom, is you go to Vancouver and you either straight through, or you spend the night, and then Vancouver to Sandspit's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour in the air, hour and 40 gate to gate.
Yeah, gate to gate. So it's very simple. And the thriving metropolis of Sandspit is a giant airport. I mean, when you get into Sandspit, I mean, what do they get? One flight a day?
We get one flight a day.
Yeah. but it's a very convenient airport. It's easy, everything. They do everything. Yeah.
And it's it's a Cure 400. So 78 passenger aircraft, and it has a big belly for all the fish to go back on the aircraft. And to answer Tom's question also is, if we book Air Canada, you can check, when we check your fish in Sandspit, you can pick your fish up in Sacramento or San Francisco or wherever.
San Diego,
LA.
You check it all the way through.
Phoenix, or wherever your airport may be. So the added value of our package, when you look at it, is the customer service you get for travel.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you have a good text.
I thought so. This says, my wife and I went to QCS at the end of July and had a great time. Valerie was a welcoming host and made every aspect of our trip easy and enjoyable. We had Rob as our guide. Not only was he very knowledgeable and fishy, he, like the rest of Valerie's crew, were amazingly friendly and professional. Highly recommend Queen Charlotte Safaris. Anybody would not be disappointed. And that's from Brian Kiyohara in Point Loma.
Brian, that's so awesome.
And think about that. What a recommendation of somebody who has built what I think all of us would consider as high end of a customer service based fishing operation that exists. That's very high praise from somebody who sets a very, very high bar of professionalism for what they do. So clearly, he and his lovely wife had an awesome time.
They were lovely, really and they had fun. And we took them on a little. They got to see a little bit of an island life tour.
That's so cool.
It was fun.
Yeah,
thank you.
Brian and Viola always like to see different stuff.
They do,
because they fish all the time anyway. So
he even made a little trip into the liquor store with me. We had to pick up our liquor, and he goes, don't you lift that? I'll do that for you. He's loading up the van with beer and liquor.
That's so cool.
That's Brian. Always willing to help.
Brian.
But I'll say he is a champion of your place. So he's come in multiple times talking about what a great time they had, what a beautiful spot it is.
They were wonderful. Cool. Thank you, Brian and Viola.
Yeah. Well, 213-432-1090. 213-432-1090. Let's jump into the phone.
You got it. How about Lorenzo calling us from Huntington Beach this morning? Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey guys, it's good to talk to you and Valerie and the crew. We're thinking about getting married in like next couple of years, and can you tell me a little bit about couples, people having their honeymoon there?
We had a couple that had their honeymoon there, July 18 to 22, and they got married on July 13th.
Wow.
Yep.
And they spent their honeymoon.
Yes, they did. Yep, from Northern California.
How
wonderful.
Cool.
And they planned it a year out. And so, yes, we had a little champagne toast and all that.
So rad.
And very, very great place to take your honeymoon. And I would extend a day and maybe do a little bit of touring on that. After you're fishing, do a little touring. I have a couple of special spots you might love.
Yeah. That, and there's if you like to hike, there's a beautiful hike within half a mile of the lodge that you can walk to and then hike in the woods. Did you do that?
No, I didn't do that one.
Man,
no,
so
part of the
awesome.
group went though.
Yes, yes,
it's
they
so
did.
beautiful, and there's nobody there.
And there's so many other places.
And there's actually a silver run in that creek, right, Rob?
Yeah, it's both silver and pinks. Pinks were there at the end of the season, and then the coho will be coming pretty quick now, I guess. Right about now, actually. They'll be there.
Wow.
That's so rad.
Yeah. And it's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of different things here, Dan in Spring Valley had an interesting text. He says, "Good morning, everybody. Great show as usual. It's always a treat to hear Valerie's silky voice over the airway. She's the true female version of John Ireland." That's a compliment.
Wow,
Yeah, that's a
totally.
compliment for sure.
Totally.
My question is for Valerie. I'm an avid diver and love to sample the new beautiful dive spots. Does the opportunity to do a little free diving from the beach ever present itself while up on a trip at your lodge? I love cold water and would love to add a free dive to my QC experience.
Well, we do have diving, but it's down lower in the park. If he wants to go swim in the front of the ocean or front of the lodge every day, no problem, because we have lots of guests that do that.
Really?
Oh gosh, yes. And I
Yeah.
hope one of them. I hope he calls
Bucky,
in.
Bucky-
Yes.
Bucky was jumping in the water every
Morning
afternoon.
and night.
Yeah.
And I have some other guests, a group of brothers. So my answer is diving, not so much. If you want to get into the water and do that,
Explore.
absolutely explore.
Rob, any thought on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, right out in front, there's lots of terrain to explore, I guess. I mean, you've got the bay right there, but yeah, that's for diving, like with with gear. There's definitely places that can take you there, but yeah, not
get a thick
not
wet.
right in front
It
of
would
you.
have to be an extension.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have to be an extension, like stay an extra
Stay an
day,
extra
and we'd
day.
have to arrange it because you have to have a permit.
Yeah, but he's a
and
free diver, so he could
Free
just
dive it.
go pretty much anywhere.
He
You-
could go in front of the lodge if he'd like.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're not going to let him jump off the boat, though, right, Rob?
No.
You never know.
If Valerie's not looking,
Good answer.
bring your gear, buddy. Yeah, jump in.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Head to
What-
Dawson Inlet and have a little fire on the beach. You can go for a swim.
Oh, there you go.
could.
That's
not a bad
yeah,
idea.
you could do that for sure.
And that's the cool thing is if everybody's on the boat is agreeable to doing something different, you do different stuff like pull crab pots, right?
Yeah, definitely. A couple of times we've walked into the ancient totem poles on Joth Island, and had a couple days where we went and had fires on the beach and cooked up a salmon, and just did a couple of extra things.
Yeah.
How
Love
fun.
That's so
How
cool.
neat.
That would be fun. So there's a possibility for Dan to bring his gear.
So Dan, just when you reach out to me, just give me a little heads up, and then we'll see what we can do.
All right.
That's awesome. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. A lot more of your phone calls, more great texts, and more with Valerie and Rob. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on that Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Anyone that's been to the East Cape knows
So-
Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barriles, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner Chris and my buddies when fishing in the East Cape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the East Cape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, the Smokies.com should be your choice. So when you're headed to the East Cape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
Saturday, November 2nd is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Seminars by saltwater expert, great deals on tackle, top tackle reps like Aftco, Psycho Pro Fluorocarbon, and incredible deals on Aftco clothing. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Hi, this is Christy Wheeler with Dawson and Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson and Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
Lobster season is here. It's time to gear up with the best in the business. Promar, based in SoCal. Promar knows lobster and makes everything you need to catch these tasty critters. The Promar guys are hardcore lobster fishermen and have designed the most successful hoop nets and accessories on the market, including the Ambush Series hoop net line, the original hoop net designed for SoCal lobster hooping. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarahi.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Lots of fun. And boy, if you want to join us again, it's been a very, very busy morning. We do have an open phone line. We had one drop during the break and a couple of great calls. So if you want to get through in the phone, first time since we started the beginning of the show, 213-432-1090. There's a line open right now. Not only can you talk to Rob and talk to Valerie, but also get a shot at winning $300 to a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses. How cool is that?
A lot of great texts, but not, bring those calls. You have a better chance. Like we always say it, you have a better chance on the phones than you do on the text because we get hundreds of texts. But, we can only take just a few phone calls during the show. So 213-432-1090. Open right now. Let's find out what's biting, Rick.
You got it, man. It is time for the Catch Port today. Our Catch Port sponsored by our friends at Gamakatsu. Hey, they're not just all about the best hooks in the business. There is so much more, including the new Gamakatsu fillet knives. Once you've tried one, you'll want more. Their new tools are also very special, including the Gamakatsu braid scissors with ceramic blades so they'll never rust and stay extremely sharp. See your local dealer or check gamakatsu.com. We're going to head on up to Dana War Sport Fishing. Talk to our bro, Captain Brian Willie's on the line. What up, Willie?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good stuff this morning.
Good morning.
Having fun.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Man, hey, I feel kind of funny talking about last week. Rick, we were talking about our water temp here, complaining about it being in the low 60s. And here we have, the guys from BC in the house, and it's like 63-degree water. How could that be bad?
That's true.
So we did have a little bit of stability in our water temp here this week. So 63 to 66. So definitely not complaining about that. With that, things stabilized. And as we talked about last week, once that kind of transition happens and things stabilize out, we'd expect to see things bite. And certainly that was the case this week. The half-day guys saw some good bass fishing with that stable water. The sand bass are still on just about any little stretch of the hard bottom we have below Dana Point Harbor. So reverse dropper loops fished really well this week. That was the perfect approach to get the baits down to that zone where that fish is kind of settled out near the bottom. The guys fishing the rubber lures on a little heavier lead head, guys kicking it up like an ounce and a half, that were rolling some of those swim baits across the bottom, caught some nice bass as well. We're also seeing more and more sheephead being caught in that cooler water, and as that lobster gear has a chance to soak, that sheephead certainly up and active. So the guys using the shrimp have had some good results with that sheephead. We did also get a nice load of anchovy in our receivers this week, so that certainly helped perk things up on the bass front as well. So that was a good thing for those guys. The 3/4 day trips has been a little bit of a mix of that same bass fishing and some rockfish action down there off the Camp Pendleton area. That was good for us this week. The deal with our bass fishing is if we're going to get it in on our trips here, we have to get it in before we go out to that deeper water, because we can't, catch our rockfish and bring it back inside that boundary line. So mix in a little bit of that prior to going out and rock fishing. That rockfish here locally off that Camp Pendleton stretch there off Fox Canyon has been pretty good. Guys fishing the double dropper loops with the anchovies certainly did just fine. Also, anglers fishing the sniper style jigs did just as good. 100 to 200 gram jigs, guys are fishing there locally in that 300 to 300 foot zone. Out on the 14-mile bank, out a little bit deeper, we made some nice catches this week too with some quality mixed rockfish. Reels loaded with braid or a must if you're going to come out on one of those trips with us, and having a nice assortment of those heavier sinkers. Certainly 16 ounces is the minimum of what we were fishing out there. But same deal, some nice big bocaccio out there, big bank rockfish, chilies, just kind of the usual suspects out in that deeper water. And the guys fishing the 300 to 400 gram jigs out there caught some real nice ones as well. And then finally, to kind of wrap this all up, the Furies Saw some good fishing over at Clementi again. Had a little bit of yellowtail their count yesterday. I think that 13 fish, that 20 to 25 pound stuff, caught on the live baits, the jigs, that kind of stuff over there, and then nice solid mixed bags of sheephead whitefish. Still some calico bass being caught out there for their guys. So just good steady fall week. Kind of what we had anticipated and hoped for this week. So conditions set up, things stabilized, and we were able to make some catches. So that's kind of it for our week. You guys want to hop on a trip with us? You got plenty of options. Give our landing a call here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can link us there too through the Let's Talk Hookup site, or check us out at danawharf.com.
What a classic fall fishing report. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Great fishing kind of all the way around, steady. And we got another week of the same coming our way. I just see nothing but more of that good fishing coming our way. Yeah, awesome news, Willie. We'll appreciate that. A great report as always. Glad to hear you guys had such a good week, and we'll just look forward next week to hearing about more of the same.
Roger, thanks for the time, guys. We'll talk to you then. See ya.
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
Willie,
Brian.
very much.
While we're waiting for Gunny, let's jump into the phones.
You got it, man. Well, how about we talk to Bucky this morning, who's giving us a call. Good morning, Bucky.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Hi. Well, I'm driving right now, and I want to mention to pull out the Queen Charlotte. I went on that trip twice this year. Queen Charlotte Safaris.
You went twice.
I did. It was one of the best trips of my life. I've been fishing for about 10 to 15 years, and I fished a lot of different places in the world, but that was by far the best fishing experience of my life. I took my my soulmate Karen with me because she's been with me for 13 years. So I took her with me the first time, and it was wonderful. And then 2 weeks later, a cancellation came up, and I begged on that trip. I got on, and it's even better the second time.
So what did you like? What do you like about Queen Charlotte Safaris?
Oh well, it starts with the host. It was what she just does such a wonderful time. She's organized. She's so organized that it was just perfect, from the hotel accommodation to the hospitality at the lodge, the quality food. It was unbelievable. I think one of the things I really liked the best was after hard day of fishing, they always had a fresh cauldron of delicious soup. So a lot of times you'd have like 3 or 4 bowls of soup right before a delicious dinner. It was just everything I ever wanted in a fishing trip. The quality of fish was superb. We were catching 30-pound salmon, 40 to 45-pound lingcod, beautiful sized halibut, and some delicious rockfish too. So it was just I liked it so much. Like I said, I booked 2 trips in 2025 back to back. So I'm going to go in August for the 1 week, and then I stay over, and then I'm going for another week. So I really encourage anybody who's ever has a fantasy fishing trip to go on this trip, particularly if you have a family, like with a father-son deal or a husband and wife type of deal. You'll never experience anything better than this.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Nice
awesome.
words,
Cool.
Bucky. Thanks for the call.
And he also, his back-to-back in 2025, he's with Corey's group first, and then Pete, he's in your group.
Oh, he's
and
in our
he's
group?
bringing friends.
Bringing friends. Oh,
Yes.
great.
How cool is
Now
that?
you
Yes.
said in the Let's Talk Hookup, one of the second group, which I'm going on, and Harold Davis going on, you said there's like half couples in there.
7 couples.
7
Oh my
couples
God.
out of that's more than half.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
because
know
it
what's
only
crazy,
totals
though?
24.
Pete, you mentioned couples, and you think it's cushy, and the fishing is, maybe I don't want to say subpar, but you might think the fishing isn't as good because it's cushy, and
Yeah,
it's complete opposite. It
Yeah.
is such a hardcore.
These ladies love to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the fishing is flat out incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
the level is as good as it gets.
yeah.
Like John,
But-
I fished with John, and John has fished multiple areas in Alaska. And I spoke with him yesterday, and I fished with him on the trip. He goes, Corey, that is flat out the most amazing fishing I've ever experienced, period. And it's close to what Bucky just said.
Yeah.
It's the
Love
same
it.
thing.
That's so
Love it.
cool.
And Bucky, I
The one
think
thing-
you're
the
going to be
one
our
thing-
ambassador.
Rob,
The one thing that it makes it a really comfortable for anybody who's not like, wanted to be out in the open all the time too, is that our boats are covered and they have a door on them and they have a heater, which is a really, really nice thing when it's, not the weather's not the best, or, you might just want to just sit down and hang out for a little bit. It's just a more of a comfortable little place to be out in the water there.
I got to tell you, it's super green up there. So what makes it so green?
Yeah.
It rains.
Yeah.
And so, but you provide all the rain gear. And on the days that it is raining or it's misting or part of the day, you get a little cold, you just go inside. Take it from me. I do it. Yeah. Go inside, warm up, heaters on, have a little break, and then go back out and do it again.
Yes. And I may say it's Helly Hansen rainwear, and it's amazing.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring anything. And that's something we haven't talked about. You could show up. Number one, like
with layers.
Bucky and his wife, they admitted they showed up with 10 times more than they needed. And I do the same. And you could do it without checking in a bag, honestly. You could.
Well, how many lures do you bring?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's where the problem.
How many plastics do you bring?
Well, that's where
bags and bags.
Pete, that's where the problem ensues right there. and because I bring a reel, I bring a Tranks 500 and some hooks. And
so Tranks 500, you step it up.
Dude.
You had a reel that.
Yeah. Right, I know. Dude, put on my big boy pants and here we go. But so that's the only reason why I have to check in a bag. You could do it without checking in a bag.
And it's heavy. Just saying, I lifted it.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't mess around.
The Salty Crew duffel bag.
Yeah. Well, I like bringing my own stuff too, but you don't have to.
You don't have
All
to.
you have to do is bring your layers and you're good.
For all of you, you may. Everybody else, you don't need to bring your.
We're
all dialed in.
Well, hey, let's continue on with our catch report. We have the surf guru himself standing by, Gundy Gunderson. Good morning, Gundy.
Hey, how's it going, you guys? Great show.
What's up, Gundy?
What's up, buddy?
Not much. Not much to report this week. We did get a little creep on the water temp. We were mid 60s, 64, 65 right now, probably the bulk of it. I mean, 3-4 days ago, we had some 62, 63 degree water. So consequently, we saw a little action on, some cooler water species. There's some barred perch catches. Some sargo catches. I saw a handful of small halibut, but overall pretty tough. It's such a big temperature drop. We'll as we creep up, we'll get going ahead again. And I don't think it's going to be a typical October, but we'll try to salvage what we can. In light of the reports, I thought I'd talk about a little incident I had. The hard jerkbaits are so popular now, and everyone's fishing them. And for good reason, they work in the surf, they work in the freshwater, bass fishing, striped bass, you name it. They're real versatile lure. The halibut, they really revolutionized the surf fishing. And I was fishing out here at the river, and I hung a big striped bass, probably 18, 20-pound fish. He was hunkering down in the current, fought him for quite a while, got him up next to the boat, and I felt this little give. And the fish right at the net just peeled away into the current, gone.
Oh,
no! I lift up my hard jerkbait, and the split ring is completely corkscrewed.
Yeah,
the worst.
What a bummer.
The hook's gone, and so is my fish.
Oh man, heartbreak.
So, what I'm telling you is that I've heard, as I've talked to different people, I've heard this. And, the manufacturers say we buy hooks in batches and from different manufacturers. So at times, maybe you don't get the quality. So you really have to invest in even though, you might have paid $22 for the lure, you really have to invest in quality split rings, like Gamakatsus and quality hooks. And you have to re-rig that bad boy. That's
if
where
you're fishing for big
you can ask
fish.
the questions why. But this is what you must need to do if you're going to hang a big fish. And in the surf, you can hang anywhere from a 4-pound halibut to a 40-pound halibut. So it's really important if you want to hang a big fish on your wall that you take these precautions. And the guys who consistently get the big fish do these little things.
Yeah.
No, it's so well said, Gundy.
Really good advice. And anytime you're pursuing the possibility of catching a big fish, which could be anywhere, right? You want to make sure that hook is upgraded.
And taking a quick second to look at your lure every so often is a big deal too. You know, you're in the surf and you're bumping things around, and like your hook can push into that split ring and like kind of get the split started. I mean, it happens. It doesn't take long to just grab your lure, make sure that the hooks are hanging right. Because if your hook starts that process of getting into the split, as soon as you hook a fish and put pressure on it, that's what's going to allow, a lesser, lesser quality thing to get that started. It just doesn't take long to grab it, eyeball it, make your cast again.
Right. Rob, as a captain, right? You've probably seen straightened hooks, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. The split rings are a huge one too. We find a lot of it when you net the fish. The net will get in between the split ring and start to split it open, and then all of a sudden, the hook starts to pull it open a little bit. And yeah, you just got to keep an eye on those things and make sure they're always up to snuff and keep them all dialed in.
Don't want to lose that 35-pound king,
right?
That's for sure. Well, Gundy, great job and good advice for sure, and appreciate that report. And we'll talk to you next Sunday.
I could just see that fish fade away.
I could feel that, man. That was brutal.
I've had those moments, Gundy. I've had those moments.
Great show, guys.
Thanks,
I'll see you
Gundy.
next week.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Hey, want to remind you, for all of your surf fishing needs, check out surffishtackle.com. And for the newest in surf fishing gear, check out fishthesurf.com to make you a better angler from the beach. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup, another hour of your phone calls, another hour of your text messages, and so much more, talking about this great spot with Rob and Valerie. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena is the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the gas. Did you know Summit is also the place to get the lowest prices on gourmet ice and snacks for your trip? $3.99 for 25 pounds of ice, as many as you want. That's half the price of others. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice free with a 30-gallon fill. Kirkland products at lower prices than the store that makes them. Plus dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time. Plus 12 diesel pumps, easy in and outs too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you. Fresh made burritos, sandwiches, and salad, along with beer, beverages, and of course, always free ice. Summit Gasoline low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Whether you're fly fishing, bottom fishing, net fishing, or just sitting on the water thinking about fishing, remember, a good day in the water starts with everyone wearing a life jacket. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Sports Grid Radio Network is the premier audio streaming channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on the Sports Grid app and SiriusXM. Sports Grid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in-game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can listen to Sports Grid, go to sportsgridradio.com. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Wait, a 40-pound white sea bass off an inflatable Hobie kayak? Tell me about that.
I'm Logan from Fastlane Kayaks on Mission Bay, and the whole story began when Ron Lane lent my parents some Hobie Mirage iTrex to put on their boat and take out to Catalina Island. That's when I borrowed the iTrek 11, threw it in my car, and drove down to Baja for a fishing and camping trip. Ended up landing a bucket list 40-pound white sea bass on the inflatable.
Dang, that sounds even better than our mammoth trip. When we packed up the kayaks in the car, snowboarded all morning, then drove down to the lakes, launched the iTrex, and fished for trout all afternoon.
Honestly, the iTrek inflatables are the ultimate fishing platform. From trout in the Sierras, calicos at Catalina, and white sea bass in the Sea of Cortez, they can do it all.
And we've documented all these trips, so check out Fastlane Kayaks on Instagram to see more. And if you think you want a kayak, but you're on the fence, come down to our shop or right on Mission Bay, and we would be happy to throw one in the water and let you give it a try. So call Fastlane Kayaks to schedule a demo today.
Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts and over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Accurate, AFTCO, CalStar, Gamakatsu, and Costa. Don't miss all the great seminars, the huge raffle to benefit Rollo Kids, the popular casting contest, and of course, the huge sale. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock God, Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network, 1090 AM, Facebook and YouTube Live, and a whole bunch of other stuff, too.
Yeah.
Pete Gray here, along with Rock God, Rick Maxa, and along with Corey Sandin. We have bonus triple hosts today.
I love
Let's
it.
Talk Hookup, and it's all because of Valerie Hoperich and Rob from Queen Charlotte Safaris.
Thank you,
And
gentlemen.
having a great time, giving away an amazing prize, too.
Boy, you're not kidding. If you didn't catch the beginning of the show, one lucky caller or texter, and then as always, it'll be decided by a coin flip from Valerie at the end of the show, whether this great prize goes to a caller or texter. $300 to Costa Sunglasses. Your choice, man. You got $300 coming your way. Anything from Costa, you can pick out a killer high-end pair of glasses. You can buy 2 lower-priced pairs of glasses. You can get spend the extra money
Their
on
sun
all their great
shirts are
clothing.
great, yeah.
Totally. Coolers. Just they have so much great stuff.
Backpacks.
You got $300 coming your way from Costa, and really, really stoked to get to give that away to one lucky caller or texter. Again, if you want to get your shot to get through today, talk to Valerie, talk to Rob. 213-432-1090 is a number. We got pretty darn full phones right now, but there is one line open. 213-432-1090. And as always, keep those texts coming through on that Let's Talk Hookup app. There's been a ton of texts. One of the problems I've been having with going through the text today is they're all the same thing. Oh my God, I went to Queen Charlotte Safari, I had the best time. Valerie's the best host. Rob's the best fisherman. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Yeah.
Like they're all the same text from different people. It's so fun.
A lot of good
yeah,
stuff.
it's been a really, really fun morning.
For sure. Well, let's jump back on the phone.
You got it. How about we talk to Blake? And Blake's calling us from Los Barriles this morning. Good morning, Blake.
What's up, Blake?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I was lucky to fish with. Hi, Valerie.
Good morning.
I'm going to be down at Smokies here in a little while.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to verify for you, Pete, how good the fishing is. Yeah, Chris actually told the truth. It is wide open Dorado right now down here. The weather's great, and I was lucky enough to fish with you and Corey and Harold and, of course, Valerie there. Good morning.
Good
So
morning,
I'm down
Blake.
south, working my way up. Luce was down here also. She said hello. But just like Rick just said, the same old recording, Valerie's place up there is just an amazing journey. And when you were talking about changing the name, it was getting pretty emotional for me. That's how classy of a person you are to do what you're doing with the traditional, the real name of that area. And thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you. Means a lot.
That's cool. So are we going to see you in Los Barriles on Thursday, Blake?
No, I wish you were, bud. I wish you were. Unfortunately, I'm leaving Tuesday. And good luck to you, buddy, out there with Chris and on the Vaquera. And they did get some wahoo yesterday, like Chris was saying.
Okay. Good news for all our Let's Talk Hookup group.
Yeah. And Dorado are the ones we were getting were, between 12 and 15 pounders. So
Nice.
they were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
Very nice.
Cool. Blake, I'm going to need one favor. I'm going to need you to have a shrimp taco and a cold Pacifico at Smokies in my honor. Have a great trip, buddy.
Hey, I can do that for you, Rick. And again, it was a pleasure to be with you guys and Valerie, and I'm going to come up there and I'm going to chase some albies one of these days.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
We'd
Blake,
love to
thanks a
have
lot
you
for the
join
call
us.
this morning. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I guess we lost him.
Bye-bye.
All right.
See you,
Thanks.
buddy.
Hey, speaking of Albies, are you going to give people that opportunity,
Okay,
Valerie?
We've been teased a couple times here. What's the deal?
So we are. We all, the guides and I talked about it, and I think what we're going to do is offer probably end of August. You can do 1 day of albacore and then 2 days of everything else. And depending on weather, of course.
Sure.
So what we did a trial run, and the trial run was, they came in on the 2nd of September, and we looked at the week, and they went out on the 3rd, and it was, I think they got 24, I believe, between the two boats. And the pictures are amazing. And I think I texted to you, Pete, that's showing the front part of Nathan's boat and looking back at the islands.
Yeah.
And they're right on the continental shelf.
And they're catching albacore.
And they're
That right
catching
there.
albacore.
Crazy.
And it was so crazy, though. It looked like the water was, you were in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It was so blue and beautiful.
Jeez, that's cool.
It was just
Hey, Rob.
beautiful. So that's
is
what
it,
we're planning.
Rob, is it possible to catch albies and salmon in the same day?
Oh, I'm sure he could. I mean, it's going to be a pretty full boat of fish.
That would be a good problem, right?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that problem, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what is the grade of the albacore that you guys got this year?
Oh, it's fabulous. It's like so firm and fatty. It's unreal. It's I don't know if I mean I've never had albacore from down south, but
Like 15 to
from what
20
I
pound
heard from
fish?
a couple people. Yeah, I mean you're looking at between 15 to 40 pounds.
Oh,
Wow.
geez.
Big
Nice
ones.
grade.
Legit.
Big boys.
Yeah. So
And the processor did them like perfecto.
Yeah.
As far as processing.
No surprise.
So
Perfecto.
that'll be toward the end of the season that you'll offer that
Yes.
opportunity, right? Which would
Yes.
be end of August, beginning of September.
Right. I'm gonna as soon as I get back from after this, I'm doing another show. As soon as I get done my show,
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna work on it.
Wow.
We're gonna put it together. So
Yeah.
yeah, the guys are all they're in. So
Yeah,
why
have
not?
fun. You're
And it's not something that we may not have forever.
Sure.
But
Fish
like
dependent.
I know, I'm just gonna give an example. Like I know Nathan, because where they were fishing, they came right back up, and they got their lemon lean cod coming back in after they got their tuna. So
How incredible.
Crazy.
wow.
why not?
The
Yeah,
the
why
options
not?
are there.
Why not? It's
And,
there.
and it's a mile off the beach.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it could be longer, like
Yeah.
like Rob was
You
saying.
could have to go 10 miles. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa. Well, Rick, you have a great text,
I
huh?
thought so. Yeah, let me pull it right back up here. And this one was from John from Mira Mesa. And the reason I wanted to read this text, there's a lot of texts that were very similar to this. So this is John's that's making it, but a lot of them covered it. And it was all about the travel in. It says, Valerie, regarding my travel from San Diego, how many days do I need to allow? But then also, how many days do you recommend for side travel to get to the lodge? I'm wanting to do like a 3-day fishing trip, but he wants to know if you should add days to the front or the back end, both to allow for travel and then also to allow for fun to side venture.
Yeah, very good question. So I have our trips completely like in out days for 25 and 26. Like we're ready, right? So let's say you come in on a Friday.
Right.
So out of San Diego, depending, you could come up if you want a few days in Vancouver before, you could come in. We have the hotel, of course. We get Angler rate, a really good rate, and want to tour Vancouver, and then come on up to us on that Friday. But if let's say you don't want to, like you just want to come straight up, depending on flight times, which we will have this month, you can come all the way through, connect to the flight to Sandspit, and then you're in Sandspit that afternoon. And then you're going to fish, 3 full days of fishing. And then on the 5th day, you have an option of going all the way home or staying in Vancouver at the Fairmont again. And they do have a fish valet
which
box.
is
Yes,
so
they do.
so convenient.
It's so good. It is.
It's amazing.
They
It's a
store your fish for you.
fish ballet.
Little butler
And-
comes out. And
But it's
grabs your
so
fish.
crazy
Yeah.
because you're in the airport. Like you literally,
Yeah.
you have your stuff on a cart, which thank you, Canadians in Vancouver Airport.
It's all free.
It's all free. You get your cart. You go right there. It's literally a 3-minute walk.
And then you get a card, just
Yes.
like your car.
And
Yes.
you're in a 5-star hotel
Yes,
right there.
it's
Legit.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. So depending on what you want to do, so that's where my office on the U.S. side comes in. We're all about putting your trip together, depending on what you want to do. So
Yeah.
if you want extra time, no problem. If you just want to stick to the 5-day trip, no problem.
And Vancouver is a beautiful town. And
It's
the people,
lovely.
I've heard it my whole life. The first time I went to Canada was last year, all right, for the trip.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
Wow.
Canadian people are beautiful.
They're
It's so
nice.
here's the crazy thing. The TSA, every time I go through a US TSA through the airport, they're so gruff and their faces like they just like they have to use a restroom or something. They're just so unfriendly. When you go to Canada, leave it to me. Leave it to me.
No,
But it's
well, yeah, I
honest.
get it.
It's honest.
I get it.
But in Canada, they were actually smiling and laughing,
Yeah.
and they're doing their job.
They're nice
but,
people.
but they're very happy that
Yeah.
you're there and laughing with the kids, and it's a complete different
Yeah.
scenario.
It's very wonderful people.
Yeah. And I'll mention this too, is that the the US dollar is very strong against Canadian dollar. It's like 70 cents to the dollar, right? Something like that.
It fluctuates.
Fluctuates, but that means like and then the rate you get at the Fairmont, it makes it like $200 a night for a Fairmont. I mean, look at any Fairmont in the world;
$250
they're
with tax.
$600-700 a night.
Wow, no
Yes.
kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a very good rate.
Because it's a high end. It's a very high end hotel. And then that area where the airport is Richmond. Has the best Asian food you'll ever eat this side of the Orient.
You've said that multiple
Yeah.
times that
Oh, yeah.
was like such a highlight of the stopover time.
Absolutely, because there was such a migration
Okay.
of people from China and Asia over, right, Valerie?
Yes.
And so there's dozens and dozens
10-minute
of just fabulous
taxi, and
restaurants.
you're just there's several of them.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
for
Super
sure.
good.
So it's kind of fun. And if you want to go to downtown Vancouver, it's maybe 20 minutes away.
You hop on the SkyTrain, and so that was built for the Olympics. And there's a station in the Vancouver airport. It's between domestic and the Fairmont, right in between. Very reasonable.
Okay.
Hop
Yeah.
on it downtown.
You go right there.
Stanley
Miss all the traffic.
Park,
Yeah.
easy.
Stanley Park is gorgeous, right?
It is.
It is,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
that.
truly, Vancouver is spread out and beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful place. So if you want to spend an extra day, what if you wanted to spend an extra day on Haida Gwaii?
You stay with us, of course.
Oh, you would
Oh.
have an option for people to
Yep.
be able to stay an extra
yes.
day.
You can do that.
Yes, I've had several people do
No
that.
kidding.
Yes, and then we arrange a tour, and
Yeah.
they tour, and no, so it's I can't have 24 people stay extra.
Understand.
But that's why we have the extra rooms, so that I've had a lot of couples have stayed extra.
Yeah.
And you could take with Haida style expeditions and go into the other side of the island of Moresby Island, and you can go in and see like Skidans, go into Windy Bay, and you see the totems. You can sit in hot springs and
Trout fishing, I hear, is very, very good.
I know. We haven't expanded that. We're talking about albacore.
Yeah.
It is there, but so many different options. Really
cool.
A lot of options.
It's crazy because we're talking Haida Gwaii and we're talking an island, and
Islands, yes.
it's huge. I
It's
looked
so
at
pretty.
I mapped it out. It's 150 miles long.
Yeah.
It's
Haida Gwaii?
Haida Gwaii.
Wow.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Like it's a
It's a big
monster.
island.
And we didn't talk about when we're on the boats and traveling through the
the
passage.
channel.
The 18, 19 miles or whatever it is. I don't know the exact number, but it is the
I bet Rob does.
Rob.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
28 or 24, I believe, to the outside.
Oh, and so that ride is the most calm, beautiful. Yeah. So if you're traveling,
Spectacular ride.
it is so beautiful. It's the most scenic 45 minutes to an
Bears
hour
and
of your
eagles
life.
and deer and batters and
and it's all lee protected, like inside
it's
water
inside.
protected.
It's between two islands. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the two big. It's in between the two.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's not like my journey coming from north to south yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people this will be the best commute to your fishing grounds
Oh,
you'll
no
ever
question.
have in the world.
It's amazing. Seriously.
It's so pretty.
Lots of people sleep.
Yeah, and if you sleep, you miss it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the west side of the island, if you're fishing, I mean, maximum 5-6 miles from where you enter the west side there, so the 90% of your ride is the calmest. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been thinking of purchasing an outboard? Don't delay and purchase a brand new Yamaha outboard and a great deal during Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring sales event. From now until December 6, 2024, eligible new 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboards come with up to $500 in dealer credit. New Yamaha 450 to 425 horsepower outboards include 7 years of coverage protection, and new 350 to 30 horsepower outboards comes with 6 years of coverage protections. No need to delay. Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring sales event is right now at your local Yamaha dealer. Yamaha, reliability starts here. And of course, there's exclusions and exceptions apply, but check with your local Yamaha dealer.
All right. Hey, with that said, let's find out what's going on the water. It is time for our fishdope.com report, and we are going to find out what's going on with thanks to our good friends at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you can get the premier processing experience. Check out the new, easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With the new team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by the location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com. A day off for the Anglers Realtor. We got the man, the boss.
The man.
Yeah, Danny from Fish Dope is on the line with the report this morning. Good morning, Danny.
What's up, Danny?
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
We're great, buddy. Anxious to hear about some good fishing.
Well, I'm going to start at Catalina Island. There is a ton of squid in the Salta Verde, Silver Canyon, Palisades area. A lot of squid boats are working it. And if history holds true, there should be yellowtail starting to show on that stuff between now and Thanksgiving. Just hopefully the squid sticks around and it should get good. I'm going to skip Clemente because Wooly already took care of that. Coronado's really good fishing. There's yellows running deep on the ridge, down by SKR. There's yellows deep along North Island at yo-yo fishing. This is traditional wintertime stuff. I expect to see it continue for a while. And the bluefin are still there at SKR. Skip offshore. Bluefin are at Cherry. That's pretty much the only zone that's holding fish right now, and it's hero or zero fishing. You know the way bluefin are. Some boats are whacking them, and some boats, I know a couple sport boats that they hit 15 or 20 sonar marks and got nothing.
So they're not on the banks anymore.
Well, they're all around Cherry Bank. They left
Cherry.
Tanner.
Interesting.
There's still a little bit on Tanner, but it's not that great. Here's the fun stuff. Behind Clemente, and again for the San Diego guys, in Coronado Canyon and the 302, there are some yellowfin running with dolphin. Some, Elgato Dosen, a few other boats got really good scores. Just get that jig stop and throw a ton of bait.
And Danny, it was so. I was just
after the dolphin again. That's fun stuff.
It was so cool seeing the grade of that fish too.
Yeah, the grade of that fish, like Ricky was saying, there's some pounders in there, right?
Yes, sir. Anywhere from 15 to 70.
Whew.
Don't throw the 15-pound. You're likely to be,
No doubt. And, well, great news, Danny. Really good to hear about that good yellowtail fishing out the Coronado Islands. Bluefin still in the game. Some like you said, some hero and zero reports from the bluefin grounds, but still good opportunities out there. I know we heard from Captain Frank Lepresti talking about that big hit that the Blair Supreme had on big fish in a new area behind Clemente. So yeah, some very, very good fishing to be had. And man, it's always nice to have fishdope.com on your back because you get an overview of everything that happened, where it happened, And following like the hot bite icons that you guys do, you can kind of watch where those trends are happening. A fantastic job as always, Danny. We sure appreciate you keeping us in the loop.
For sure. And if you want a new membership to fishdope.com, $30 off a new membership using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space. Hookup Now, your $30 code. Danny, you're the best.
No doubt.
Fishdope.com.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week.
All right.
All right. All right.
See you, Danny.
Appreciate that very much.
All right, that's going to wrap up our catch report today. Again, like you say, that $30 code, Norris Lithium batteries. They're here in Southern California, designed specifically for marine use. Norris Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid connections, longevity, and most importantly, reliability. Norris Guardian Advanced Battery Management System that allows you to monitor the health and charging status of your batteries by using an app on your phone. Norris also has a great line of kayak and electric reel batteries. Make an investment in the very best for your boat with Norris Lithium. Check norrislithium.com or just go see the Trolling Motor Doctor or Anglers Marine at both their Anaheim and Lakeside locations for your Norris Lithium batteries.
And they're just coming out with this new line of Norris that should be it's shipping right now. So go see your local dealer there and check out the newest things from Norris. They're the best in lithium for sure. We talked about it yesterday. Rod Building 101 is coming this Wednesday to the Portuguese Hall here in Shelter Island, San Diego, and it's hosted by Fisherman's Landing and the San Diego Anglers. And you have probably the 4 best custom rod builders on the planet: Jim Trelekas, Bill Havens, Joe LaMonaco, and Chris Latham, yeah. And it's open to the public, and they're going to teach you how to build your own rod.
It's a really cool event, whether you're a high-end rod builder, a hobbyist, or have never done it and just would like to add another, cool trick to your bag of tricks. And basically, they're going to go over everything: how to pick out a rod blank, how to spline the rod, how to set and install a grip, how to wrap guides, how to pick components. And like these guys are going to be set up at different stations. And I mean, Jim Trelekas is one of and same with Bill Havens. I mean, these guys are like world renowned rod builders.
Oh yeah.
And you're just going to get to sit and have, it's like
for free.
Exactly.
For
it's like
free.
having Michael Jordan teach you how to throw free throws at a free event at Portuguese Hall. It's
So-
going to be a really big night.
So, and Fisherman's Landing Tackle will be there to sell you components and rods and stuff.
Not to sell. We're just going to have our whole crew there. This is an education thing.
But
It's
so
free
if
for
you want
everybody.
to bring some stuff and have those guys show you how to do it,
Sure,
bring it, right?
It's just going to be, exactly.
Bring your own.
We're going to have all our
Bring your
crew-
own rod components.
We're going to have our crew there because our guys are amazing at helping a guy figure out what is the right blank or the right components. to
Yeah.
do. These guys are the world's experts at putting the parts to the rod and how to do it. And I'm biased, but I think our guys are the best in the world at knowing blanks and components and materials and that kind of stuff. And
Because you guys specialize in
It's
that.
just going to be a big, rad educational day with a big raffle and everything San Diego Anglers does is first class.
Yeah, for sure. 6 p.m. The doors open this Wednesday, and the seminar starts at 7. So it's free. Portuguese Hall right there on Shelter Island. Check it out. The Rod Building 101.
There it is.
Fantastic. All right, let's jump into those jam-packed phones.
How about we talk to John? He's calling us from Huntington Beach this morning. Good morning, John. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Hey, good morning. I don't know where to start. I've been talking to Valerie at the Bart Hall shows and for years, and it was her being on your show last year that kind of tipped the scales and said, I got to go to this place. And,
I love it. We would love to have you
They
come.
were amazing. Yeah. Well, I did. I went with Corey and on this last summer, and so it was amazing. Corey was a great host, and we fished with Nathan. We went out. Evan and Jack were the 2 other guys on the boat with me and my buddy Dave. We had an amazing time, and I remember Corey saying he could fish anywhere in the world, and he always loves going to Queen Charlotte safaris. And I thought, wow, that's quite a testimony for a guy like Corey who really could and probably has fished all over the world. So anyway, I'm real excited about the albacore and salmon combo trip, and I just am waiting for the dates to see when we can book again. And one last thing, they always say that it's a bucket list trip, but I don't see it as a bucket list because I'm planning on going back, and it's not like you do it once in your life, and it's not a one and done, So
It's like a trip of a lifetime that you want to do over and over again, right?
John, I got to hear with a testimony like that. What was was your highlight fish from your trip?
It was the king salmon. I love king salmon, and we caught just it was pretty much quick action, 25 to 30 pounders.
Jeez.
And the lingcod were incredible. I couldn't believe the amount and size of the lingcod. That was really something. The halibut, we didn't catch very many. We caught a day limit on one day, but then the weather came up and we couldn't get back out for our final day. We would have had limits on all the species had the weather cooperated, but that's just fishing, I guess.
But you still took home plenty of processed fish, I'm sure.
That's awesome.
Beautifully processed fish,
Oh,
I
yeah.
might add.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
John, reach out to me.
I
Just
need
send me
some
an email. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say I need some recipes on lingcod.
Yeah. I know, working on that. I have 2 from Chef John.
Oh, cool.
I do.
A little olive oil, add a little bit of butter in the pan.
It doesn't take much.
About the time
No.
you're done, add some capers and salt.
Oh, there you go.
Voila.
Corey, the man. Hey, thanks a lot for the
And
call
fish
this morning.
tacos, too.
I have a great text here from Tim in Ojai. He says, "Good morning, Pete, Rick, Valerie, Rob, and Corey. My wife and I came up to celebrate our retirement, and thoroughly enjoyed every aspect of the trip. Captain Rob was our guide, and he got my wife and her first coho and had a great time pointing out how she listens better than me," which is always true with the women, right? Using the traditional salmon rods and reels. Keep your tips up, Rob.
Oh, Rob knows I'm the prime example of slapping the hand and oh yeah. Typical Southern California dude wants to pull as hard as he can and get the fish in. And what do you think, Rob?
No, you got to enjoy it, Corey.
Yes.
and using the traditional BC
We were
method.
just talking about this.
Yeah, the knuckle busters, those rods, they're like fly rods. They bend so parabolically.
Yeah, no, you really gotta. It's more of a using the rod as a suspension to fight the fish because of having the barbless hooks. You just any tension let off and the fish is gone. So you want to keep that rod bent and keep the suspension of the rod, just having it so it keeps the hook in the mouth of the fish. So it's a little bit of a different ballgame. Once you get used to it, it's definitely a fun thing to do.
And you can use conventional gear too if you don't want to use the traditional BC method.
Not on Rob's boat.
Not on. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Which is great because it adds a fun element to fishing if you've never done it.
Yeah.
And we call them knuckle busters, but get your hand out of the way. They're not going to knuckle bust you. You know what I mean? They have a drag. It's fun.
When I love the story that Corey was telling during the break of that style of fishing, like you said, you got to be careful and things can happen and hooks can come out. And, Corey was fighting a big fish that got close to the boat and it shook its head just right and the fish came off and Rob was like, "Oh man, that was such a nice one." And Corey's like, "There's a box absolutely full, and it took us minutes to hook this fish. It's going to take us minutes to hook the next one. Like, no big deal. Let's just go." It sounds so cool. Well, Rob, sounds like great fishing and lots of fun. When we come back, we're going to be talking more about that. More with you. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Don't be the last one to
That's
get
so
one,
true, though.
especially now. The new Brutus Pacific Pro from Ace Line Hauler. You can catch more lobster and pull deeper with the Ace Line Hauler, so you can get those bugs in the boat. Easy to store and low-power draw. The Ace Line Hauler is the highest quality and certainly the best on the market. Just ask a friend that has one. Get the new Brutus Pacific Pro by Ace Line Hauler today. Buy now at better fishing stores near you.
The best just got better. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 20A and 25A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship two-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. The Shimano's Talica success is driven by its durability and spec attributes, allowing the series to differentiate from other lever drag reels within the market. The Talica is built around a cold-forged machined aluminum one-piece frame. The all-new Talica 20A and 25A now boasts Infinity Drive. Infinity Drive employs 2 drag washers housed in the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load as much as 40%. There's also a new lower low gear. If your utmost concern is performance without compromise, Talica 20A and 25A are the reels for you. Available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Shimano. Come check out the new Shimano Talica A, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest loads. When throwing jigs, the Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
I've had the opportunity to fish many places in many different types of water, but never have I fished a place as much fun as Katmai Lodge in Alaska. Hello, my name is Harold Davis, typically fishing in the ocean, but this is an experience that you have to try for yourself. Fish natural rivers with tens of thousands of fish coming up. And they have all the gear: spinning, bait casting, fly rods, kings, silvers, pinks, sockeyes, and my favorite, the chums. Outstanding food, outstanding accommodations, great service. The lodge is located in the beautiful Katmai National Park, filled with amazing wildlife. Brown bears, moose, eagles, otters, and it has spectacular scenery. And also the fact that the lodge is located right on the Alagnak River and your boat is just steps away from your room makes it great. Do yourself a favor. Call Charmel at 1-800-330-0326 or go online, katmai.com. And like Pete says, they will hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. We're having a great time here this morning talking Queen Charlotte Safaris. If you want to get in on the fun, 213-432-1090 is how you do it, or keep those great texts rolling through on our Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, indeed. And a lot of good stuff. The Liberty, if you saw our shot outside there on the camera, Liberty's sitting at the dock today because they're on a 2-day trip tonight.
Yeah.
And we have a Let's Talk Hookup 2-day trip next week. It leaves on the 14th and through the 16th, a 2-day limited load trip, limited to 25 people. And the price is unbelievable on it. And I can't believe there's still spots available.
On a 2-day.
On a 2-day, on the Liberty, on that. So it leaves next it would be next Monday and comes back Wednesday. It's inexpensive.
Yeah.
So if you want to go, check fishermanslanding.com, book it right online, the Liberty. Then of course we talked about the spots on the 7-day Shogun trip.
Yeah.
Let's Talk Hookup trip this month, hosted by Mr. Ron Lane himself. And then yesterday I saw the Royal Star and talked to the crew on the Royal Star, and they're having such fabulous fishing down on the ridge. And they have spots available on the Royal Star available on trips this October and November, which is unheard of.
There's a lot of people out there. We hear a bunch in the shop that a wahoo is a fish on somebody's bucket list. Man, I really want to catch a wahoo. That's the, if there was ever a year that you go, man, do
wahoo, yellowfin,
do a fall 6-day or longer trip, preferably a 7-day, maybe even an 8-day. Right now, there is unbelievable big grade yellowfin fishing, and I mean the Rocks has kicked out some epic wahoo scores these last couple of weeks. I mean, it was like I was reading one, the other day. Common all day long 3- and 4-way jig strikes with 10 to 20 fish on jigs and the bombs after those stops. I mean, 30 fish stops on wahoo, and if you're landing that, maybe that's such a humbling fish where get a lot of bites. Of fish. If you're landing 30, you probably hooked 60 or 70 fish just in that stop. It's been really, really good. An amazing fall ridge year this year.
Check ShogunSportFishing.com or RoyalStarSportFishing.com and book one of those trips, because like Rick says, it's an epic year for them, and get on it while you can. Chef Harold Davis, I know, Chef Harold Davis, right? Harold Davis, who co-hosts our Queen Charlotte Safari trips. Chef Harold, I had no idea he had the talents, right?
I believe
he says, this is a recipe for cooking lingcod. can be used on lingcod, halibut, any kind of white fish. Seasoned fish, fish dry with paper towel and discard. Heat oil, heat in a large skillet over medium heat, and the oil heats thoroughly. Cook the fish skin side down. Place the fillets skin side down and press down gently for a few seconds so the skin doesn't curl. Sear until the skin is golden and then easily releases from the pan. About 3 minutes. Flip and continue to cook. Carefully flip the fish using a spatula and add butter, lemon juice, and capers into the pan. Cook the fish, tilting the pan so that the butter and the side of the pan, and use a spoon to splash the butter over the top and baste the fish until it's cooked through, about an additional minute. Serve, garnish with herbs, serve the fish with lemon wedges on the side. There you go. Harold Davis's recipe for lingcod.
A prime example, you can't screw up a good fish.
Yeah, because that's an easy recipe.
It is super easy.
It's super easy.
And garlic. Did I hear garlic? Garlic's a prime.
He didn't say anything about garlic, but I would agree with Corey.
Yes.
Got to throw in the garlic,
caper, and
little
lemon zest.
Yeah, maybe a little white wine splash.
Lemon zest.
Yeah,
Yes.
but again,
Orange
hard to screw up. But you can pretty much do anything you want. It's right. Hard to screw up a fish of that quality.
It's delicious.
Rob, do you have any special recipes for lingcod or halibut?
Beer batter is a good one always.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
Another one that was kind of weird that was I found out a couple years ago was just Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning.
Oh, yeah.
Flour, Tony Chachere's, and a little bit of cinnamon, and then just pan fried in butter.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah, everything cooks better in
Sounds
butter.
good. Yeah.
For sure. Let's jump in the phones, Rick.
You got it, man. How about we talk to Mike? He's calling us from Torrance this morning. Mike, good morning. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks a lot for a great show. Aliar went out and took us on the Polaris Supreme. We got back Tuesday, and he fishes so hard, and I just want to thank you for a great trip. We got several bluefin and fished the Cherry Bank area. And if I'm going to cook some of my bluefin when it's fresh, after I'm done eating sashimi, I'm going to put some olive oil, cilantro, and fresh garlic, and then sear it over a barbecue. And you got to have some lemon, and that's how I do it.
Sounds
There you
You guys
go.
have a great day. Thank you.
All right. Hey, glad you had a
Good
great
job,
trip
Mike.
on the Polaris Supreme. Good fishing.
No doubt.
And Aliar fishes hard.
Hey, I had a great text this morning. It says, good morning, Let's Talk Hookup team. My question's for Valerie. Where can I find out a little more details on a Queen Charlotte's package? I'm interested in the seasons, the cost, how to make reservations, all the backside stuff. That's from DC and Mission Viejo.
Hi, good. Thank you for that. Just write to the website, qcsafaris.com. Go to contact us, fill it out. It's going to come right to my email, and I'll get everything sent out to you.
There you go. So again, qcsafaris.com.
Yes.
And then Valerie's amazing to talk to on the phone. If you have any questions
Yes.
or any more details,
Thank you.
just call Valerie.
Yeah, just call
And-
me. Here's
yeah.
my cell. Okay, I mean, it's 805-698-9590. Comes right to me.
How about that?
Very
Yep.
good. All right. Here's another great text from John in Upland. He says, "Hi guys, great show. Can Valerie go over the fish limits on the species that you can in Canada?" And this is good because it's very liberal for the Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yes, I can. I can, or Rob can, either or. But okay,
Rob
so
probably.
either way,
Yeah. Rob, you want to go over limits?
I can, or you can.
Well, it's between. So for you have a daily limit and a possession limit. Your daily limit is your daily limit, obviously, and then your possession is your 2 days. So you have 2, 4, or 1, 2 for Chinook, depending on the time of the season, which can change at any time. It can be always 2, 4. It can always be always 1, 2.
So it doesn't. So
then you have-
on Chinook or king salmon, 2, 4. So 4 in possession for your 3-day trip, or 2 per day, but it can or 1, 2. But that can be in June, July, or August. It depends on when, right?
It consistently changes every year with DFO's regulations, and then your halibut are 1, 2, 2 small ones or 1 big one, and that changes whether they allow you to take the 2 on the 1 day. Changes during the year, and then your lingcod is 6. And
Did you say lingcod is 6, any size?
Come on.
It's ridiculous.
6 above 65 centimeters, so above 2 feet, basically a little over 2 feet.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh, that's amazing.
So you can keep 6, and how many a day?
3.
Mhm.
3.
6 a day,
3.
but we're kind of It's gonna that might change. And then it might be going down to 4 or 3. We're not sure, but yeah,
Still a
right
lot
now
of
this
link
year
cod.
was really good.
And that's the big one. It has to be bigger than 2 feet,
Right?
Which you wouldn't keep the little ones anyway.
Try finding one that's
No,
Yeah,
we wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
let them have a chance.
I don't think I've ever seen one that small.
That's what I'm saying.
Very, very, very generous limits for and then rockfish depends on the species, right?
Depending on the species, but yeah, it's the same with 6.
And what about coho?
Coho is so salmon. You can have 4 per day. Sometimes Chinook is 1, sometimes Chinook is 2, but you can have 4 per day, 8 total. Which so you could have 8 coho if you wanted to, but you obviously don't want that. You want to have at least your 2 Chinook or 4 Chinook.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
8
total
total
of
salmon.
8 salmon.
Wow.
And regardless of how it all works out, I mean, you're bringing home a full box and working on a second box. Like no matter what the limits are, and I have to say the harvest is the most amazing part of it for myself. Right, I'm bringing home this beautiful Chinook and halibut and lingcod. And it's all done in 5 mil bags. Your processor does the most beautiful job. It's fishermen like we down here, Rob. We have Fisherman's Processing, who sets the bar for the highest standard, and it's equivalent. It's Fisherman's Processing
Super high quality.
Yeah,
And
5 mil bags.
And that's all fish that keeps so well
Through the whole
you
year.
get to enjoy that the whole year long.
And in addition, it's all included in your package.
Part of the deal. You don't pay any extra for fish processing.
And let's say there's 4 of you and you're dividing evenly, like you're pulling your fish together in the boat, right? They divide it evenly. We pay for that cost to divide the fish. There's a cost to that. Queen Charlotte Safaris pays for that.
Pays for
That's
all that.
included.
Wow.
Same with the fish boxes. All
Wow.
included.
All included. And that's hundreds of dollars in fish processing.
We
if
all
you've
know.
ever paid your
We
bill
all
at
know.
Fisherman's
Right.
Processing, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's hundreds of dollars worth
It's
of
quality.
fishing.
Like it's certified.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
plant.
actually, the Ironman Gary White has a question about that.
Okay.
You talk about Queen Charlotte Safaris, and it always says how hardworking Valerie is and your staff are. What fish processing do you offer? So that's kind of, you said it's part of the deal, but who handles that? Does Rob handle that?
No,
Do you have people on the dock that take care of it?
So we actually use T&M Seafood. They're right there in DG, which is on the other island. So you drop your fish off. They handle it. So it's all tagged per boat.
It's so cleanly done.
It's like so cleanly done. They're amazing. I've known Tom 2005. He's awesome.
So on your way back in, you stop
Drop
at the
your
other
fish
island,
off.
which is what, about a mile from the lodge?
Well, it's kind of on the way. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's on the
coming
way.
across the other way.
Yeah.
And so that gives you a whole nother like little journey to see another part of the islands.
Yeah.
Because there are other islands where normally if you just come straight back through. So Tom is certified plant. His team meets you at the dock. We get our ice there. Everything's on ice, and everything. Queen Charlotte Safaris has a special bin, and a bin's within the bin of all our fish, and it gets cut every night. Then it goes on a tray, and it's all vacuum packed, flash frozen. And then on turnaround day, one of my team, one of the guides, one of the team, they go over, get the fish, meets us at the airport. It's awesome.
Seamless.
Done. Seamless.
Yeah, and then you get in line for your flight back to Vancouver, and
Yeah.
Valerie and her team are right there
Right
putting
there.
the fish buckets on your cart.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's like you don't have to do anything.
Nope.
Yeah, but eat.
Eat. and catch fish.
And catch fish.
and then take in the beauty and enjoy it. too.
Exactly.
All of
yeah.
it.
I had one real quick text that I had to read that switches gears for the fastest. It's Rick, I have to tell you, I just got off my 2-day Pacific Dawn trip. I happened to see you the second before I got on, and I got 165-pound bluefin tuna and won the jackpot.
Wow.
The reason I had to read that is Mike shared with me that Corey has been his good luck charm. He has called the radio show, and Corey's on 2 trips in a row, and he had caught a big giant tuna, and he said he was due to miss because he had so many big ones, and then he and I had chatted in the parking lot just before he left, and he had a 165-pounder in the
Wow.
jackpot and another big one. So
I'm good for something.
you got it, Corey. Congratulations, Steve. That's awesome.
That's a
That's
huge
a
one.
big one. Well, hey, in the meantime, let's jump back into the phones and talk to Mike. He's calling us from Rosemead this morning. Mike, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good morning. Real quick here, I have a pencil and paper in front of me. So, Valerie, how do you spell the Haida? And second, do you post any YouTube videos
Wait.
The lodge up there, that's what I mainly watch, and I'd like to get my wife to see one to get her interested on going up there.
Yeah, we do have YouTube and Haida Gwaii, so you can go there, and we have some videos on our website as well. And Haida is spelled Haida space GWAII. And since we're talking about that real quick, I just got a couple of texts about people asking if we're selling or
Concerned with the name change.
Yeah, concerned with the name change. We've always had Haida Gwaii in our name, but this is the Queen Charlotte is being dropped. Basically, we're keeping the safaris and we're keeping the Haida Gwaii, and we're going to keep it Haida Gwaii safaris to keep it simple.
And it's a respect for the indigenous people.
100% respect. So no, I'm not selling unless I guess someone wants to buy, but no, we're not selling. We're just doing the respectful. And again, Haida Gwaii means islands of the people, and that's where we are.
With the indigenous people. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to the sport shows like Pacifico's Sport Fishing Festival in March, which you will be there, what will we see when we're looking for Valerie? Will we see Queen Charlotte safaris? Will we see Haida Gwaii?
You'll still see both.
Okay.
Like it's going to take some time. I mean, next year, 20 years. So 20 years of branding and marketing. So it's going to take some time, but we've always had Haida Gwaii in everything. So.
But Valerie isn't going anywhere.
No.
That's the concern.
No, I'm here.
Good.
You're there.
All right.
Yeah.
I am here.
And that's what makes Haida Gwaii safaris or Queen Charlotte safaris so special. I can tell you that. Right, Rob?
Yeah, you better believe that.
Well, and also I have an amazing team. Like I was explaining to somebody at dinner last night, I ate here locally. I walked into the American Tavern and the Padres game was on and everyone's cheering, and I was sitting next to this father and son, and I had my little jacket on, and they just kind of asked. And anyway, I mean, we're literally 4 months of a family. We really are. And we probably see our QCS family, our Haida Gwaii family, more than we see our own family, and spend so much time together. And so it's all about community, working together. There is no break. And I need to give a hats off because we've been talking about me and also Rob, but we also have Taro, Erica, Nathan, Chris, Chef John, Royce. Yes, Royce.
Yeah. Aubrey,
can't miss Aubrey. Melanie, Rachel, Diane. Diane, like this was her 15th year working for me. Yeah.
Corey, did you have the crab feast this year?
Are you kidding me?
I mean, it is the most insane crab feast.
I live for it.
Corey is the champion crab eater.
I
used to hold the crown, but no.
Dethrone the champ.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Corey is like the champ.
Okay.
Yeah, put the bib on and stand back.
Okay.
You lay down Dungeness, man. Watch out.
It's so good. Yeah, and you catch it yourself, right?
Well, you as a team on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun.
You mentioned Erica. I mean,
Yes.
you have Rob, Nathan, you have the whole crew of captains, but you very especially have a woman
We do.
captain. And
Erica.
just a lovely lady that you would never know. I mean, she comes to the dinner and you're like, where did she come from? She's actually part of the captain crew.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And
Yes.
an indigenous person.
Yes.
Yes.
She's from the Sunshine Coast.
That's so cool. Hey, John in Mira Mesa wants to know, and I'll answer this because I've done it several times, how you get to Queen Charlotte Safaris from San Diego.
Easy.
It's easy. So there's 3 different nonstops on Air Canada
to Vancouver.
To the Vancouver. You fly directly to Vancouver. It's about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. And then you either connect to the afternoon flight to Haida Gwaii or Sandspit, which is an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, or you spend the night and then connect and enjoy what's around there, and then connect the next day. And then on the way back, generally speaking, you can do the same thing in reverse, but not have to spend the night and just rock right through.
Yeah.
But sometimes you might want to spend the night.
And for those that are not spending the night, and if they are on Air Canada, we will check their fish,
your fish all
from
the way through.
Sandspit, and you'll pick it up in San Diego. And we clear customs. There's a United States Customs office
Super unique.
in Vancouver Airport. So when you get back to the United States, you're done.
It's the only
So easy.
The only U.S. Customs port outside of the United States. Where
Yes, they have one in Toronto as well.
there is, okay.
Mhm.
Where you can clear customs, you arrive in San Diego. It's like you're on a domestic flight.
If you're not coming from San Diego, there's several other airlines. United flies there. Alaska Airlines flies there. Generally speaking, that Air Canada has the most direct routes to Vancouver, though. But there are other alternatives that you can go if
Sure
you want to
are.
use your miles or something like that
Yeah,
on another airline.
absolutely. And so when you get booked and we get the welcome packet out, there's a whole form. Would you like assistance with airfare to Vancouver? And you check a yes. There we are. We'll go from there.
Valerie's got it all dialed in. The other thing that's super cool is the lunch. When you get there, you check reminding me to check the boxes. You basically custom make your lunch every day, and it's there on the boat when you go fishing.
That's rad.
Yeah.
It's cool having all those steps to make the airport travel so fast, especially now that Corey is on the no-fly list through TSA. You're like, pretty much from here on out, like he's been kicked off a TSA pre-check for sure. So having those extra steps of customs are really going to help things out. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including finding out who's got themselves a brand new pair of Costas. More Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com. When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Saturday, November 2nd is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Come see saltwater experts, great deals on tackle from Shimano, Paramar rods with TC4 blank construction. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
Hey, San Diego, the Make It Ford Summer Sales event is on. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers now and make it your best summer yet. Amazing offers and great selection of Ford vehicles, like the Built Wild Bronco family, with a deal you just can't miss. Your biggest adventures are awaiting. Make it Ford, make it yours, make it now. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Okay, it is time to find out who's got $300 of Costa coming their way, whether it's a caller or a texter. And Valerie's going to do us the honors of flipping our prize coin here. Today we have a texter. Congratulations, Tom, who is texting us from the Bay Area. You've got $300 in Costa coming your way. Congratulations. You are going to love your new shades.
Yeah, for sure. And Valerie and Rob, you guys are so awesome, and I can't wait to go back up there. And Rob, thank you for joining us on the phone. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much. It was a great show, guys. Thank you a lot for having me on.
Yeah, and we look forward to fishing with you next year. I know all of us love to visit there, and look forward to it. And Valerie, how do we do that? How do we visit Queen Charlotte? And do you have any spots available?
We have 2 on your trip, which is August 3 through 7, and we're looking for a single angler on your trip, Corey, which is July 30th to August 3rd.
And you mentioned something about friendly for a female. on
Yes, because that particular, I mean, female, male doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All good.
And you have spots in June too, which is one of the hidden secrets of Queen Charlotte
Yes.
Safaris.
Our
right?
hidden gem.
Yeah. Spots in June, which
Yes.
great weather and fantastic fishing for everything, right? And you get the first shot at the lingcod and the rockfish, right?
Pinnacles,
and the halibut.
untouched.
Yeah.
And you're most likely guaranteed to get a 2 Chinook for that point of the season too.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's
That
like-
too.
that yeah, because it's beginning of the season, right, Rob?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 per day.
I want to go.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
We'll probably-
And, well, we're talking about that
Yeah.
for 2026.
Yeah, there you
And for getting hold of me, you can just, again, write to the website, qcsafaris.com, and just fill out your form and send it to me.
Perfect.
Awesome job, you guys.
All right. Thank you,
so
Valerie.
much for
Thank you,
having
Rob.
us.
Appreciate that. And thank you out there. Thanks to JP for manning the phones and the board for us. Thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup website. Thank you for all your texts, your calls, and your support of Let's Talk Hookup on all our different channels. Next Saturday, Rosie Flower from Cedro Sport Fishing. And then next Sunday, Captain Frank Lopresti from the Royal Polaris. It'll be Corey and Rick next Saturday as I go down to host our Let's Talk Hookup Palmas de Cortez 30th annual tournament, and I'll be giving you the report from there. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on the Sports Grid Radio Network, 1090 AM, the Let's Talk Hookup app, and YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya. Bye.